Leo graduated in 2014. Most notably, he was a large part of the conference championship baseball team in 2013 and the conference runner-up in 2014. He was second team all-conference in 2013 and was named the MVP of the team in 2014. Leo ate, breathed, and slept baseball. After graduating from Grand River, Leo attended Bowling Green State University. During his time there, he was the voice of BG Baseball and was in charge of the sports programming for the BG24 TV station. Currently, Leo is an anchor and a reporter for the #1 station in South Bend, Indiana. I'm going to go off script just a little bit. Leo's not only a good athlete, but a good student as well. Him coming in as a junior and me teaching mainly 9th and 10th grade English, I didn't think I'd ever have the opportunity to have him in class. But his second semester of his senior year, I was fortunate enough to have him in my creative writing class. And so I just wanted to share a little bit of how creative Leo could actually be. Leo Goldman, creative writing, second period, May 8th, 2014. The assignment was a how-to manual. He was supposed to take an everyday, ordinary thing and just kind of go step by step, and like if you were to buy something, to just show step by step how to put something together. Congratulations, you're the owner of a new Brian Valentine, 2014 edition. You have made a great choice purchasing this new edition of an old favorite. Here's the how-to manual for how to deal with your new product. Number 1, do not yell at it. As a fragile old man, this will threaten its manhood and make it more inclined to completely lose it and say outlandish things that do not make sense. Number 2, do not talk back to it. It will see this as a challenge, and the newest edition of the Valentine does not back down from a challenge, no matter how unnecessary it may seem. Number 3, do not question it. Questioning it will result in Valentine losing its temper and flying off the handle in such a way that you will not know what to do at all. Number 4, do not tell it it is overly aggressive. Doing this will result in it becoming very violent and overly aggressive. Number 5, lastly, make sure to appreciate the lessons you will inevitably learn from it. It will teach you many things over the time span you've had it, and you will learn things that will help you and make you a better person. I have stories all day about Leo, but we'd be here all day. It's my honor to introduce Leo Goldman.
I'm so glad that fatherhood has mellowed him out. All right, how's everybody doing? So you've already heard a few speeches. I know you're all hungry. Won't keep you too long. But before I get into this, I'd like to thank the graduation committee and anyone else who helped contribute to allowing me to speak at this ceremony. I am truly both honored and humbled to be here. I also want to thank my parents, who I made sure didn't have a choice about coming to this because the Tigers are in town this weekend, so I made sure that we're going to be here for this. And of course, I want to thank a few of my former teachers for being here today, because it truly does mean the world to me. For me, whenever I get a chance to reflect on my time here at Grand River, I think about what I learned, but I don't mean, just in the classroom, because while those lessons are incredibly important, it's a lesson that I still hold with me today. I'll admit to you right now, I did not want to come to Grand River. Now, before you shut off the mic, I promise you this is going somewhere good. But no, I didn't want to come here. My parents chose this place for me, and originally, I was adamantly against it, not just because I'm a diehard Cleveland sports hater. Go Tigers. This is also before I found out this was an all-boys school. Be that as it may, I came to Grand River in the fall of 2012 with no desire to be here. I pushed back against my teachers, and I was convinced that they didn't know what was best for me. But a few months in, I was sitting at breakfast, pouting like a 6-year-old. Scott McNeven, who's here today, was at the time someone who was providing guidance for me, mostly because I wouldn't stop annoying him. It was like the fly that just wouldn't go away. Anyways, as I sat there sulking about whatever insignificant thing, McNeven inquired as to, quote, why I was being such a child. Bear in mind, I don't even remember what I was so down about, but I promise you, if I can't even remember it now, probably wasn't that significant. He even looked at me and he said something that I'll always remember. He said, Leo, what are your options? You have a lot of potential to do great things here, and you're wasting that by sitting around and sulking. If you buy into what we're trying to accomplish here, which is getting you back on track academically and mentally, you can be great. Or you can sit here, continue to wallow, and make yourself miserable. He then burped in my face, took his plate up, and went to class. That always stuck with me because he was exactly right. It's not like flipping a switch, but after realizing that the people here at Grand River from the top down really did have my best interests in mind, it changed my outlook completely. But Grand River didn't just help me academically. Mentally, when I got here, some referred to me as immature. I can't really confirm or deny on that one, but coming here I needed an entire attitude adjustment, especially in the classroom. And that's exactly what I got. I'll never forget sitting in Mr. Trombley's class junior year. Math isn't my strong suit. I know a lot of you can relate to that, whether you want to admit it or not. But Trombley recognized that. He was patient with me. He helped coach me. And more than that, he knew exactly how to push my buttons and give me the business in the same way that I was trying to do to him. In my first high school, I noticed that with a lot of teachers, if you didn't really put in the effort needed, they didn't really care because you were just another student. They were just trying to get through. Not here, and definitely not with Mr. Trombley. There would be times where we would be working to finish up some math work. I would want to instead crack jokes, make fun of the Cleveland baseball team, or just change the topic. And Trombley would look at me and say, we can mess around and we can be unproductive, and then you can go ahead and do this work on your own. Is that what you'd like? That's that dry wisdom and ability to give me the business and push my buttons that's exactly what helped me succeed in this class. I want to give one last example of the life lessons GRA taught me, and then I promise I'll be done and we can all go eat. Actually, no, not yet, sorry. I was fortunate enough for 2 years in 2 sports to be coached by one of the best coaches I'll ever have, Mr. Valentine. You want to talk about a guy who's never afraid to call you out on something. That man right there. So my senior year, our baseball team, as you mentioned, defending LEC champs, we're playing Andrews Osborne, and like most games during my time under Mr. Valentine and Mr. Kroll, we're not making things very fun for our opponents. So we're up 7 or 8 runs in the 5th. One of our pitchers gets into a jam and loads the bases. Next batter walks and a run comes home. Kid from Andrews smacks home plate with both of his hands, turns, stares at me, and says some words that I won't repeat because I'd like for the mic not to be shut off. But he wasn't asking about my dinner plans. Now I'm furious. This dude was showing us up. And I knew I was going to have to take action with this macho head game that I've got going. So the inning ends, we're only up 5. I come back to the dugout. I'm furious. To the point where you can see the cartoon steam coming out of my ears. Turn to Valentine, I say, Coach, next time that dude comes up, we're serving him a heater right to the ribs. Now Valentine, he's an old school guy, you know him. He's an old school coach. He's hard-nosed, tactical, of course over-aggressive. So I figure he's going to be on board with this plan. You know, hitting a child with a baseball. Not even close. He pulls me to the side and he says, if you intentionally hit him, I'm going to pull you and I'm going to bench you. Now I was our only catcher, so I kind of wanted to call his bluff and see what would happen. And I had every intention to. So the kid comes up again a couple innings later. I look over and Valentine is staring daggers into my soul. This man was terrifying me. And then once again it hit me. If I carried out this little revenge plot that I'd come up with, I'd be hurting myself, my team, and my coach who had always had my back. And that's when it dawned on me that the decision needed to be one that would be the unselfish one. It's another life lesson from GRA that I carry to this day. Graduates, enjoy the journey that you're about to go on. College is great. Wherever you go is going to be great. But never forget the lessons that you learned here. Because while yes, I haven't used y equals mx plus b once since high school, sorry Trombley, I use the lessons that I took from this place every day. And I'm so thankful for GRA for making me the man I am today. Now go out, be great. Let's make Grand River proud. Thank you.